this is Thennary, and once again I'm giving my episode thoughts for an episode of Sailor Moon Crystal, this one being the second episode of the series. With this, the story is still basically more or less staying along the same lines as the original manga, where we go right into the introduction of Mizuno Ami, or Sailor Mercury. And for the most part, like the first episode, it kind of stays pretty true to the original manga chapter, but we also start seeing some of the ways that this anime series is going to, I guess, change things up a bit and kind of make itself different than like everything else that's been done before. Probably like the most glaring thing about it is the fact that we do have like updated and like relevant tech. I mean, Usagi has a laptop in her room. And of course, instead of like the disc, we do have like CDs used in this for the whole Crystal Seminar thing. And just like a lot of little things here and there, which, you know, it's nice to see kind of it being a bit of an updated version in that sense. Also, the chapter, or the manga chapter for this, is a little shorter than the first chapter, which was, you know, Usagi and her whole introduction and everything. And so we get to see some things getting changed up for this story. Like the fact with the Crystal Seminar thing, the Yoma or monster, there isn't just like simply gathering energy of like the crab students there, even though that is part of what she's doing. She's also specifically targeting Ami to actually help the Dark Kingdom like increase control over Tokyo itself, which is definitely not something that was in the manga. Also, probably something that I really appreciated that they added was the fact that Sailor Moon, she used the whole you know, ultrasonic kind of wave thing that she used in the first episode, and which is nice because usually what happens is that, because even in the manga, it's something that only happened in that first chapter and then was never like spoken of again. So it's actually nice to see it like be brought back, and not only that, but also give a reason why, you know, the whole whaling thing is probably not going to happen so much anymore, because it was completely ineffective this time around. And it's kind of nice to see that. So, you know, you kind of get a little explanation for something that, you know, we didn't get in any of the other versions before. Overall, the story hasn't really changed. I think the big glaring thing of this episode that I'm sure a lot of people are going to bring up is the fact that we do have a rather steep dip in like animation quality. Like a lot of the characters like a lot of the characters are completely drawn off model. It's very obvious. Of course, with anime these days, it's probably a safe bet that the worst of it, at least, will be fixed by the time the series starts being released onto home video. But I think my theory kind of stands, that I kind of brought up with my previous episode thoughts for the first episode, is the fact that this series is not really going to have like OVA, like quality animation or movie quality animation. You know, it's going to be your basic TV series animation, because it's gonna need to be, you know, financially supported by something. And so far, the only thing I can think of that's really supporting the series is all the merchandise that's been coming out for Sailor Moon in like the past year or so. And that's only so much revenue, you know. I mean, everyone like working on this, they can only put like so much money towards you know, the animation budget and everything, but I don't think we're gonna get anything better than, you know, what we've seen. Of course, hopefully the rest of the episodes won't be as bad as the second episode, because I think the things were, or like the characters were more off model than they were on. So, hopefully that kind of sorts itself out and we get more even, animation quality, and it does get fixed for the home video release. But yeah, I think if anyone had or was expecting like really high quality animation for this, I think this episode proves that, that was not the expectation to have. I mean, anime series are usually shown on TV. They usually have commercials, and thus they have a lot of sponsors. For this, we pretty much just have the merchandise, from what I can tell. Still, overall, I'm kind of enjoying it. I do like to see like some of like the little changes here and there. It was nice to finally see Queen Beryl, even though we didn't see much of her. In fact, we haven't actually seen her face, well, her complete face, since it's like partially in shadow in this episode. But we got to see at least more of a Jediite. And at the end of this episode, while the Hulu streaming, it still doesn't have like the next episode previews, which apparently I learned only the Nico Nico streaming has those for whatever reason. So that's kind of disappointing not to get that. But at the end of this episode, just like in the previous episode, we get the glimpse of the next character getting introduced, Thennary. And so we know we're going to pretty much straight into the story that brings in Sailor Mars. I'm kind of curious to, how quickly they're going to go through everything. Because at the rate they're going, they get about, I think, around 26 episodes or something. Or at least around like the mid-20s for like episode count for this series. Which means that, they've got to deviate at some point and put some kind of filler into the series. Even though, with the less amount of episodes, they can at least keep it closer to the manga, but, they've got to slow things down at some point. So I'm kind of curious as to when that point is going to be hit. But until then, I guess we can just enjoy, getting all the Sailor Guardians in the show rather quickly. And with that, that's just about all I can think of for right now. But I'm still enjoying the series. I'm still going to be watching it. I think with the whole animation quality of this episode, I think it kind of gives a better idea of what to expect for the other episodes. Like I said, hopefully it's going to get just a little bit better for the upcoming episodes. And I hope that you continue watching my, initial episode thoughts. Best way to do that is, of course, to subscribe to my channel. If you want, please leave a like or a comment. They are very appreciated. And until next time, bye.